Okay, so I'm going to chat really quickly because in the family photography world, people are crashing out and it's totally understandable. So as a marketing educator, I want to be honest and say that this is a very, very difficult marketing environment. You're competing with news that's coming at us literally by the second. You're competing with economic uncertainty. You're competing with all kinds of changes that are happening all the time. And so it's difficult to raise your hand and say, hey, look at these sessions I'm booking. And so what's happening is people are doing most of their marketing in their head and very little marketing is actually happening. And so how do you overcome this feeling of overwhelm? Okay, so the first step in this process is to know what you're trying to book, and then you have to stick to it. So that second part is the hardest part because what will happen to you is that you will say, okay, I want to book spring minis, for example. You will put out 2 or 3 marketing pieces, not get bookings, and decide that instead of staying consistent and sticking to your marketing plan, you need to change up your offering. And then you're starting from square one. So instead, what you need to do is if you know in your photographer heart that spring minis are what you want to book, then you need to commit to talking about that for 6 to 8 weeks. And if it's not on social, it has to be somewhere else because what we're looking for here is visibility. Okay, so then here's the steps to take. First, you need to create a blog post or an info page on your website that is dedicated to what you're trying to book. When you're trying to send people to your website, it's too hard to centralize your messaging and send people somewhere that they have to click around to find out what that information is. So the first step is to create that centralized location. And the second step is to come up with a visibility plan that works for you, meaning that you know you will actually stick to it. If you're terrified of talking to people like I am now, don't have that be your visibility plan. If you're interested in being more of a figure in your community, maybe that involves networking and local advertisement. If you want to email past clients and have an email strategy that you're doing, not just one email blast, but actually building up suspense to booking or creating some sort of sales strategy around what you're booking, you need to decide what that is and then you need to stick to it and not give up when you feel the feelings that you will feel, which is fear, overwhelm, people are judging me, this is terrifying, this isn't working, you have to stick. So I hope this gave you a little bit of clarity in the fact that everyone is kind of on the same struggle bus and everyone that I know is suffering a little bit when it comes to visibility and bookings. It's also the time of year. Every year we forget that January, February, March are the hardest and we put ourselves into this feeling of doom, like nothing is ever going to get better. But here's what I want you to know. If you start marketing consistently now, you will likely have a better spring than you have ever, because what usually happens is this continues to be a period of silence all the way up to the point where you want to start booking sessions. So start your marketing now.